up, everybody?
Hey, hey, hey. All
Oh,
right, y'all, you know what time it is, right?
hey, you know what time it is. Welcome to By Any Means podcast. I am your host, Ryan Jones.
Yes. And I am Sharita Walden.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to thank you guys for joining us today, but you know what I got to do first, and I need you all to do it too. Please go to our page and like, share the stream. We are kicking off. Please put it on your platforms. We're going to have a great conversation today. I have guests that have helped us pivot. I always say that here at KYHRC, me and my team, we are the pivot humans of the world. Okay. If something ain't going right, if someone can't do it, you know what? That's life. That's life.
Yeah.
Okay. And we figure out how to navigate through it. We don't shut down. We just say, okay, we're here. So I'm putting it on my page. You doing it on your page, Ryan?
Oh, yes, you know
I
I
hope
am.
I hope our guests are too.
Yes, indeed. And listen, so today we are going to be closing out the month of May, which focuses on mental health and the wellness of the mind. And so we want to make sure that we engage and that we you enjoy this conversation today. We're gonna have some some guests with us and that are going to join us here shortly. And we're going to dive into this conversation a little bit deeper and just see where it goes.
Do we have any announcements, Ryan, today?
Um, we will be out at the Bobby event downtown this weekend on Saturday. Um, I don't even remember the address. Mm.
But you know what? Maybe we can tell people. Is it on our page
It
yet?
is. It is on our page. You can check out our page and check out the Bob event this weekend, and then that's it. Our next episode will be June 11th, and we'll be talking about the men. Okay, it's Father June celebrates the fathers, and so as we are in celebration of fathers, we'll be joined by some great men that will share with us as well throughout the month of June.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, no.
All righty. So as we close out Mental Health Awareness Month, I really wanted us to, you know, really talk more in depth about moving away from or beyond, right? Hashtags, um, slogans, performative awareness, because mental health is not just about awareness, right? It's
Hmm.
about how we survive, how we lead, how we show up, how we love, how we rest, how we carry grief, pressure,
Hmm.
burnout, expectations, and I mean, sometimes entire communities on our backs. Our last conversation centered around violence,
Yeah.
professionalism, and what happens when people are expected to suppress their humanity in order to survive systems. So today, I wanted to continue that conversation organically. If you saw my page the other day, last night, one of my friends, colleagues, Dr. Gardner, could not, with everything in him, show up for this session today for us to have this little chat. But you guys stepped in, and I saw so many people reach out, and I just said, you know what? Not just one person. I want to bring these folks on, and the people I'm bringing on today, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves because they do many different things. They show up differently in communities that they identify with and communities they serve. And we're going to have this conversation. And it's kind of stepping out of our mold. We're bringing in people who have not been on this platform yet to have this kind of conversation with us. So it'll be pretty cool to see what comes up organically. So
Right.
I'm joined today by three incredible people from different spaces, some experience in education, educational work. Someone on here is finishing or has finished up their doctoral journey. and work in mental health. And others work deeply connected in recovery, treatment, and harm reduction pathways, right? And what I love about today's conversation already is that all these spaces intersect naturally, right?
Mhm.
Naturally, they come together. So we're going to start first. We're going to start first. Let's see. I think we're going to start with Asher. We're going to start with Asher. We had some technical difficulties. It's not uncommon for us to end up having technical difficulties here on BAM. I really think we're doing some good trouble stuff out here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think it's a part of our rhythm at this point. So can we bring Asher onto the screen?
Yes, indeed. Let's see. All right, there we go. Let's see. Hold on, let's see. There we go. Okay,
There we go.
okay.
How y'all doing?
All
Hey,
right, what's up,
Asher.
buddy?
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
So listen, I would love for you to share organically who you are, what spaces you move in, and what work you do, and how you personally connect to mental health, leadership, healing, or harm reduction. That's a part of your introduction. I know that's a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot I got going on too. So I am a person in long-term recovery. I practice a program of complete abstinence. I'm not opposed to other people's avenue. That was just my avenue, right? I am a full-time student. I'm a couple semesters away from having my bachelor's in social work. I work with a local nonprofit where I connect people with community resources across the state of Kentucky. I handle about 15 counties, most of them in the central Kentucky area. I'm a part time assistant manager at Lids. I'm a full time father, a full time husband. I have three beautiful children and a great wife. Brittany, she should be watching. She better be watching.
She better be watching.
That's right. Um, I would say that in the beginning of my recovery journey, I was not a fan of harm reduction, just completely.
You just gonna jump right into it, Asher?
I mean, you asked me to introduce myself, right? We might as well get it out the way first.
Hey, I'm with you, Ashley. Okay.
Uh, but along my journey, I worked in recovery, and honestly, like I've got too many people that I worked with intimately that passed away
Mm,
because there was a cookie cutter expectation of what recovery looked like.
Mm,
And out of grief, I reformed my ideas and my beliefs about what harm reduction and recovery looks like. And today, on top of everything I got going on, the back of my trunk is full of test strips and Narcan and Plan B pills and socks and toboggans and hygiene kits and all the things that I've collected along the way that I feel like toilet paper. That's one that hardly nobody ever hands out.
hey,
I've got toilet
wow.
paper in the back of my truck because you never know what somebody is going to need in the
mm,
moment. So, for example, just today I left an event. It was a job fair. There was an individual there with state boots and state grays on.
Mm,
And I
mm,
asked him, I'm like, bro, do you have anything else? He's like, I do, but this is what's comfortable. And I went on my spiel about they can trap your body but not trap your mind. And if you're still wearing their stuff on the street, they still got your body.
mm,
mm,
So I went to the back of the truck and I got him a new pair of shoes that I've had donated to me. I got him some clothes, some leisure wear, a pair of jeans, and a couple button ups for job interviews. And I told him, I'm like, man, get rid of that stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
wow.
but that's just what been blessed to be able to do to my community. But most of the time, I just hit the streets. I go to spots where I know drug activity is frequent or unhoused individuals are present. And I just go and I open my trunk and I usually start off with something that everybody can use, right? Do you
Mhm.
need toilet paper? Do you need a hygiene kit? And then when I get them to the truck, I'm not broadcasting it, but I'm asking them, hey, do you need you need straights? Do you need chicken bones? Do you need Narcan? Do you need safe using kits? Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
And I don't, no questions asked. I don't want anything in return. I'm just there to service them so that they have a familiar face. And when it's time for them to ask for help or go for the next step, whatever that looks like, whether it's a mental hospital or treatment or they want to go to a shelter, they have a familiar face that they can contact, or that they can pull up on. If they see me in the streets, like I've done it with my kids, right? My kids know my story. So just being present for my community and being out there for them.
Well,
Wow.
Asha, thank you so much
Okay.
for sharing that. I think I really want to jump in and ask this question because you shared a lot in that opening. We're talking about mental health, and you brought up a good point. And thank you for being honest about the fact that when you started this walk, you weren't really, you know, open to it. So let's jump right into some bold spaces. What else? What else are people really afraid to say publicly about mental health? Like, I think of when I see you in many spaces talking about things, I don't think that you're shy. You,
No.
Odell, y'all don't tend to be shy about what you need to say. Um, so, what do you think though? What do you think people are afraid to say publicly when it comes to mental health?
There's such a stigma on it to begin with. But
Right.
and from my experience working with a vast amount of people and my own lived experience, right? Um, everybody struggles with mental health in some way, shape, or form. I
Mhm.
mean, from insomnia to racing thoughts to anxiety to depression. I didn't even know I had PTSD until about 3 years into sobriety this time around.
Mhm.
So like, and just it's so prevalent and it's so needed, and there's so many ways to access it, and there's just not enough people screaming it from the mountaintops, right? And then another thing is from my experience personally, it's not a be on a medicine or a treatment for 30 days and it's these things persist. These things
Mhm.
are deep rooted, and they usually take a lot of whether therapy, medication, a combination of both. And there's not just one way to fix it. What works for me doesn't work for other people.
Mm.
And I think that a lot of mm, I think that a lot of people have, like I mentioned before, a cookie cutter treatment for certain things.
Mm.
That's just not the case.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What question do you have, Ryan? The way we're going to do it, you guys, is I'm going to ask a question, Ryan's going to ask one, then we're going to put y'all in the waiting room and get to the next one. But I could talk all day. So,
Same.
My question to you, Ashley, is who gets allowed to be vulnerable, and who doesn't? In your time, because you mentioned a lot of great things that you have done, but who do you see gets allowed to be vulnerable?
mm,
Kids and women,
Okay.
um, to be honest, and that's not even like a bias. Well, it is biased because I've walked this walk and I've had some trainings and I've went through some things, and like men and fathers are so like ostracized when it comes to these services and the ideas and the norms that society places on these people, on fathers and men, are so difficult to live up to, and a lot of men aren't don't want to step out of that realm, and admit that they need help or become vulnerable or share their experience in fear of being judged as less of a man. um,
mm,
and I've kind of taken it. I mean, I've been doing it for years, but I just really come become aware of it. Is not really taking that burden, but sharing that burden with, because I know many men that are advocating for those services for men. Because like suicides, and I don't have the statistics on top of the hand, but suicide is an overwhelmingly man thing.
Yeah.
Depression and anxiety, untreated, is overwhelmingly manly. There's just a lot of things that people aren't comfortable coming out as, especially as men, that are swept under the rugs. And what we see, or what I've seen, is that it has repercussions and
Mm,
ripples in other people's lives, because a man and a father is so important into so many other people's, systems. So,
mm,
like my kids, so if I'm not handling my mental health, if it ripples down to my kids and my wife and my dogs and my employees, and like everybody that you're connected to is feeling that, and it's just a very difficult space to navigate for a man. I know that the helping profession is overwhelmingly female, so a lot of times they don't feel men don't feel comfortable sharing certain things with females in that matter. But I think women and children can be vulnerable, and I think that men are judged on it a lot of times.
mm. Yeah,
Wow, that was a lot.
that
Because
was.
it is true. It is true. And just as you said, that that a lot of men are afraid of being able to say, "Hey, I need some help." That I gotta be a macho man all the time comes into play. Even in the comments, Jose shared that men make up 80% of suicides,
Mhm.
and a lot of times it is because of mental health, but then there's also additional factors that play into that situation. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you, Asher. So we're going to continue the discussion at the end as we wrap up and circle back on some things, but definitely you've added some talking points to this
Hmm.
conversation. So hang out in our little studio area for a second and continue to chime in the comments for engagement.
Yes, ma'am.
As we put Asher back, it does make me think about the fact that I wonder with the young man, the guy who had the unfortunate experience of taking two lives. We were just talking about him off stage before we started. Dealing with grief. This is a male, a black male. Did he have the space? Did he have the people around him, the community, before he drank himself into a space where he decided it was okay to go and drive? Like it's something to think about. I want to bring in our next guest as we continue this conversation because, again, I have unique people coming into this space today who have been in many different spaces and not the same as ours all the time. So, Carrie, who's coming in, who's going to be added to the screen here. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie Boo.
Hi. So, Carrie, we want to have you introduce yourself. I want you to share in your introduction who you are, what spaces you move in. Don't cut spaces out, Carrie. What work you have done, what you do, and how you personally connect mental health, leadership, healing, or harm reduction.
Okay. Carrie Dickerson. I work. I am a single. Well, I was a single. Well, I guess I still am. Single parent of a boy. Well, he's a man. He's 26. He's still a boy to me. Uh, he better. Yeah, he better know. But anyway, I taught with JCPS for 23 years. Then my mental health started to decline,
Mm,
and I decided to resign in 23. And then I took about a year and a half off
mm,
and discovered my artistic side, and which was already there, but I really did that thing. And then now somehow, because I get talked into things by good people like podcasts, now I am a second, third grade teacher at a black HBCU private school here in Louisville.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's been a great experience. I started out just teaching them art and music, and then now I'm doing that, and I'm teaching a class. Now I taught the class I got to them like in December, and it's just been the greatest experience with those kids and just doing that. The spaces I move in a because I'm old. I stick with I stick with church, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. And just my friends and whoever, my mom, whatever. I'm an only child, so being alone has never been an issue with me. So I can be alone and be okay with that. So see let's see mental health. Well, I'll start with harm reduction. Um, I used to think that people who did drugs and alcohol and all that stuff just did it and they need to go to rehab and all this and all that. But then I met you, Shrita, and I met a couple other people, and they opened my eyes more to, oh, okay, it's not that. It's this. It's a trauma response a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just I wanted to try it. Oh, I'm a kid. Oh, this is good. Oh, let me keep trying it. So it's different situations, but a lot of times it's a trauma response. It's a means to escape. And I had a godson, and and he lived with me all his life until he was about 12, and he thought the grass was green on the other side, so he went to live with his mother. Really, he was looking for his father, so he lived with his father. His father introduced him to alcohol. Now, mind you, he was 12. Alcohol and marijuana and stuff very early on. Somewhere in there, I found out later after he died that a person he trusted misused him.
Mm.
So he was dealing with that. He was conflicted on being a gangster or being gay or a gangster, whatever. He didn't know. And whatever it was. And I I have a lot of I'm working through it in therapy, but I have guilt because he did reach out to me a while, I mean years ago, but I was at a place where I was like, no, stay where you are, because that's where you wanted to be.
Mm.
So that's been that weighs on me a lot. But fast forward, he on 420, he took a bad batch of fentanyl, and according to the coroner, that's the most. She's been doing it for like 30 years. That's the most in one body she has
Mm,
ever seen,
Wow.
ever.
mm,
And
mm,
that was
mm.
hard to hear. I think he was trying to be done with his life. Just looking back at his Facebook posts and stuff, and the person who gave it to him is now his older brother, which is so crazy. But he now has no arms, no legs because
Mm.
he got a hold of some bad drugs and this and that and the fifth and everything. So he didn't learn from his brother's death. So it's kind of
Ooh.
hard. I grew up with an alcoholic. Uh, yeah, that's a whole nother scenario too. That's why I was in therapy early. That's
Wow.
why I was in therapy, because this man nuts. But anyway, uh, I I was, before I started working with the kids, in the process of doing a documentary about black men and mental health. I have
Mm.
all my people, and I have two who are in therapy, and then I have the rest of them who are not. And two of the people who are not in therapy have admitted that they need therapy,
Mm.
but they don't know how to go about it. So I'm always
Mm.
like sending links. Here, try this, try that, go here, talk to this person or whatever. And I try to do what I can in that. But this summer, since I'm off, I'm going to move forward with that more.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, because I really, I'm gonna tell you what did it for me was Dominique, of course, dying, but then it
Yeah.
was Switch.
Yep.
That did something to me. Like
It
that
is
something
good.
sad. Like I'm like, we always think that people have it all
Mm-hmm.
until they don't,
Yeah.
until we don't, and so we think, oh yeah, they got all that. That's. But what I've learned in my 53 years of life is that we put on these masks,
Mm.
and these masks are who we are.
Mm.
Wow.
But when we remove these masks and we look in the mirror, we either see one or two people: somebody we love or somebody we hate.
Mm.
And a lot of times it's somebody we hate or we despise. So then we try to make ourselves to everyone else to be someone that everyone loves. So it's
Whew.
it's just hard. It's hard, and it was hard raising a black boy with confidence, to
Mm.
make sure he has confidence and made sure he had everything he needed to build him up without making him an egomaniac, or without making him feel like he hung green and
Right.
his stuff don't stink. So it was a lot of humbleness for him, because
Yeah.
honey, I'm like the army. I'll break you down, then I'll build you up.
Right.
So that's what I had to do to him. But he's an outstanding young man. I mean, I haven't done a lot of things right in this world, baby. That boy, I did that thing,
Well,
and
Mm.
that's good.
I'm just very thankful for him. And one more funny thing he said to me, I asked him a couple years ago. I said, was I a good parent? Not because, I mean, you can tell me now, because and I hid a lot of things from him because I
Mhm.
wanted him to stay a kid.
Yeah.
So I hid like my mental health and my issues with that person and this whatever. And he said, I tell my friends that you were dysfunctional just enough to be funny. And I said, see,
Wow.
that's what I
Mm.
like. That's what I like.
I
Let me
like
be
that.
dysfunctional
That's
so I can be
good.
funny. And so yeah, I mean, I do. I have more patience for people who I can tell there's something not right
Hmm.
out in public. If there's something not right, I've had to get my mother together. I mean, she's my mother, but I'd be like, Mama, stop! Don't. You don't know what these people's stories are. Calm down, because she will. God love her. She's a baby boomer, and she just,
Oh yeah.
And
no.
they loose with the tongue. My
Man,
mama.
I'm like, honey, stop, please stop. She
Uh,
misgenders people all the time. I say, don't just say. I say, Mama, just say thank you.
Right.
So I heard you talk a lot we about the youth, and these are actually great, a great pivot point right here. What are young, because you work with the youth very closely, what are young people carrying right now?
That's the question I was gonna ask. I cannot believe we are on top of it like that. I was looking like that's a
I
great
mean, she
question.
set it up
That's
so
such
well.
she
She set it
did.
up so well.
She
So
did.
listen,
They
Asher set
are,
himself up for it. So Carrie, you
Queen.
set yourself up good too.
And
Yeah.
Carrie, real
When we
quick, I need you to talk from both sides because you work with youth, not just in the educational setting. You have the honor and privilege of working with them in our religious spaces,
Yes,
Yeah.
so our faith-based spaces. So share, please, on that for the people.
I will say for it, and it starts because, like I said, I had 7-year-olds this past
Mhm.
year. So I'll start with 7-year-olds to, I just trying to be everything that their parents say that they should be, that they see on the internet.
Mm.
Their parents spend a lot of times
Mm.
on these. And I know they do. And one thing that one of my kids said, and this put it in perspective for you. I said, your mother's going on a field trip with us because we need more supports for you, because he was one of them.
Okay.
And he was like, that's my easy way of saying, boy, you bad as hell.
Okay.
Right.
Uh, so he was like, he started crying, and I was like, why are you crying? Like, why are you crying? He said, because I want to be with you. I want to be with you. And I was like, okay, we're all gonna be together, but your mother's gonna be there. And he was
Right.
like, but I want to be with you. He said, because all she does is TikTok and Facebook, and
Mm.
Whoa.
she don't pay attention to me, and she don't care what I have to say, and she doesn't listen
Wow.
to anything I say, and you do, and you make everybody else to stop talking so I can get my words out, and you give me a chance to talk and say my stuff, and my mama won't let me. She always tell me, shut up boy.
Ah,
And that that is what a lot of parents do.
yeah.
It's generational.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I have learned, just over maybe the past 15 years, and I have not always been this person, but I've stopped telling kids and adults, but mostly kids, I've stopped telling them, stop crying.
Mm.
Because what you're feeling, I'm not feeling, but whatever it is you're feeling has brought you to tears.
Wow.
And what they are longing for, one, discipline. Two, and I'm not even talking about corporal punishment. I'm just talking about
Mhm.
consistent
Yeah.
Yeah.
discipline.
Structure.
And
Mhm.
they are longing for being with their parents
Mhm.
and the people who love them and being loved by them. So when they do encounter something shady at
Mhm.
school or wherever, they have enough in them where they're not following that person or
Right.
Mhm.
following that trend. The teenagers, they are trying to be everybody they see on
Mhm.
TikTok or whatever it is they do now, Snapchat, and follow me on this. Whoever got the best.
Mhm.
What's that thing they do with they hold their mouth and they do their
Oh,
hand?
yeah.
Right. Do that.
That thing, yeah, that thing.
I
You
don't
know,
know. I
they
don't
all
know.
they trying
Hey.
to be. They're longing for acceptance. We longed for acceptance,
Wow.
but
Mm.
we didn't have
Wow.
distractions like that. 'Cause
Mm.
I didn't have cell phones. I didn't have
Right.
all that stuff. I mean, I mean, we did have TVs back then, but like I had MTV.
Hmm.
I mean,
The box.
that was, yeah, like, and I loved, stuff like that, but I didn't have a lot of things to influence me that I could easily have access to.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents use tablets and screens and games and stuff to keep their kids quiet and away from them.
Mm.
Because one of my suggestions are always take his phone away, take that game away, take
Mhm.
this stuff away, and then they're like, that means I have to spend time with him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he ask to be here? Let me ask me. Did I ask to be here? I didn't ask. So it's so crazy when people say that to me. Like that means he's gonna want to be around me. Okay,
Duh. They're
that's
yours.
yeah. He wants to be around you. You his mama. Cause I'm gonna tell you, honey, these double D's, these kids are always up under here trying to love on me,
I've
love
witnessed
on
it.
me, and
I've witnessed it.
honey,
From the
crawl up in
babies
my lap.
to
I done
the
had big old
young,
9-year-olds in my lap and stuff. I'm like,
they
wait a
they
minute,
climb all over her. And
wait a
baby face
minute.
be like this.
Like what is going on? But
Right.
it's the thing. It's the craziest thing because at the end of the day, I get what their parents don't, and that
Mhm.
is, I love you without any kind of
Yeah.
pressure point. I get notes. I got notes. I love you, Miss Carrie. I love Miss Carrie. You're my favorite teacher. I love you, Miss Carrie. I got teenagers and adults who are saying things to me now. Their parents themselves. They're like, "Thank you for being hard on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for not letting me just be that. You stayed in my shit and stayed in it, and you made me do this." So I just I feel like that as a society, we need to raise our kids, and if we have to raise other people's kids, then so be it.
Yeah.
We just got. I mean, I saw a little girl yesterday and take my mom to the doctor. This little girl she was on the phone, doing that duck lips and stuff, and had her big old leg up. I said, "Babe, put your legs down.
Okay.
Put your legs down." First of all, I don't know what they smell like, but two, put your legs down. I mean, her leg was up. If I can get my I was like, stop it.
Carrie, listen, you know what, Carrie, I definitely now Asher, Carrie, y'all coming back because
Yeah.
there's gonna be a spinoff of a couple of things you talked about. So we're gonna put
Mhm.
you in the back room, get Emily out here because you brought up so many points.
Yeah.
But we're gonna bring you all back on here as we close out.
Okay,
Carrie, thank you.
no problem. Thank
You know what? Uh Carrie, this is just a piece. There's so many things that we could really bring into these conversations. Um, Carrie and I met through trauma, and
Mm.
in that conversation, she didn't even get a chance to even tip her toe in that. So when I say we'll be back with everybody on here, I'm pretty sure we will because
Oh, yes.
what she does, who she's with, I've seen it in action.
Yeah.
Um,
And
y'all, yeah,
the comments are going and chiming into. Listen, I'm trying to click them as fast as I
I
can.
know. I mean, Carrie, you had people. You had a moment there where people were just quiet, uh, and I could tell just the comments stopped, and then you have Jose who shared. I don't know if you saw that comment, but shared. About
Yeah.
how his household, how he was raised, and I think it's an actual good pivot as we bring in Emily. And it's
Yeah.
like this full circle moment because when we don't have village like Carrie, when we
Mhm.
don't have folks out in the community like Asher,
Yeah.
we have people in the systems like
Mhm.
Emily. And so we're bringing Emily in as she blocked out time at her system oriented job.
Yeah.
I want Emily to share uh, what
What's up,
she does
Emily?
and who you are, what you do. Um, and I want you to bring in how this conversation. So I kind of flipped it on you. I know you've been rehearsing, so you don't get to do that. You'd have heard
Um,
you're waiting patiently now. So who you are, what you do, and how this conversation so far has been impacting you in the work you do. She is mad.
okay. Hey everyone. My name is Emily. Emily. I look my special K. So yeah, I've been in child welfare for 11 years. I started off with suicide prevention. 6 of those years I was in substance use with adolescents. Now I'm director of training. And so a lot of my tasks are things that my passion is leadership development. I am working towards my L. So PRN, I do mobile assessments for hospitals. Um, also, an ordained minister, and just finished my DSW program, which most of my research is focused on Black LGBT in the community and supporting that. So you say I'm in the system, but I don't have it's a love hate relationship. I really it's more hate than love because I am the one that believe in dismantling and burning it all down and building something different. So yes, I'm in the system, but I'm trying to be something different within that system because I know how it impact those that it has harmed. It has harmed every identity I have. And so it is difficult with the system in religion. I don't know. I'll be like, if I'm losing my mind, like I'm part of all these components who has been oppressive to
Yeah.
every identity that I hold, but really trying to show something different. I love these conversations. I feel like people are the experts. Like even though I have these credentials, I really lean on the people that I talk to or the people I assess. I always tell them they are the expert in their treatment. I'm just a guide. You lead the way, and so I rather have conversations. And I love like peer support, all those things, because I think lived experiences is important. I have some lived experience in certain things, and some things I don't. But I think everybody's voice is supported, not just those with titles or whatever it may be. So
Thank you, Emily, for that intro, and congratulations again on that
Yes.
thank
doctorate.
you,
See more of
Yeah.
thank you,
us
Yeah.
holding
thank you.
those letters. We have the experience, we have what it takes, but they want to see the letters, so we get them for them. Um, I want I want to really ask you because you are working within a system that even
Mhm.
though you get a chance to do some I've seen you do some radical work by bringing me in to train. That's pretty radical. You bring Sharita in to train. You either
Yeah,
gonna, that's gonna be your last time bringing me. I might get a complaint. I don't know.
they
So
love you. They always bring you up.
I
They like, where
listen.
she at?
When people bring me, I say they must be on some revolutionary shit. So uh, I want to ask this though. In your opinion, what are systems missing when it comes to
My question.
emotion? That was your question.
Oh, my
We
question.
vibing today, y'all. What
Because
are
Asha already said break the mold from the inside.
I saw that.
So
I
yeah.
saw that, right? What are systems missing, when it comes to emotional wellness? And I want you to share not just about this system, so I'll be putting you and Carrie on the spot, but also the faith based system,
Hmm.
being ministers, being ordained in this. I hope people are a whole lot more accountable when they're working in both the social system, social welfare, social services, and they hold spaces in our faith-based community. So, on the spot, like what are systems missing when it comes to emotional wellness? And after this, as Emily wraps up, you can start bringing Carrie and Asher back in
Okay.
as she wraps up her.
I think it's really that top down approach.
Mm.
So people at the top, both spiritual and what we would consider secular, is that the people in charge are the people at the top making decisions for everyone else. And with that, it does impact people's emotional well being. So I'm a strong believer that, even with me being in leadership, and sometimes that's hypocritical, but I'm like, we in these meetings making all these decisions, but we not asking the people that it impact. I don't feel like, I mean, I could come up with 100 ideas, but if they not able to do it, or if they don't have the resources, then we really chasing behind the thing. So it's important that, you bring in the people that will have the most impact, the experts. Again, they are the experts of their lives. So with rather they be employees, because now I work more with employees than clients, with if that's clients or in the church space. I think you should hear the voice of the people in the congregation. Yes, you will hear from God, but also I think it's important to hear the voices of the people as well. And I think, for me, I'm more grassroots individual. And when I mean like for us, by us type of thing, I have difficult, even though I work in nonprofit spaces. I feel like whoever has the purse strings have the control, and just like with harm reduction, right? They threaten to take away funds, but they don't understand the impact of this is making. So when you are catered to or attached to those people, whether it be a donor or the people with the purse strings, but when we are able to do mutual funds or connect with each other and we control the purse strings, then we, the people who are really in the midst of it, can make the decisions. So I think a lot of that is, who's in control and who's making the decisions, because most of the time it's not the people boots on the ground. So I think all that is important when you talk about emotional well-being in spaces and what the systems are missing.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Drop, is that a mic drop moment?
Mhm.
Ashley said you was on the verge of your preacher
Right.
moment. Okay.
Listen, Asher, you could bring everybody back on, but Asher, I'm gonna tell you something. Between Ryan, Emily, and Carrie, listen, once they get started, I'm not having all three of them on there because we'll be in a whole service. It'll go like that, right?
Okay.
Um, you guys, you have really thrown out a whole lot more. This is organic because it wasn't planned. These questions I came up with today because I had a whole different conversation set for Dr. Gardner.
Hmm.
Okay. And I'm an intentional person. I'm not going to try to make the conversation work. So I had to think quickly. Um, but you all gave us so much
Yeah, definitely.
grief, youth, mental health, trauma. I have a whole title I'm working with called The Good Trauma Bonds. Because if you really want to know, y'all stay tuned. I think we're gonna do that one probably in August. I'm gonna bring Carrie back because I like to look at that situation as a good trauma bond. And when people hear that, be like, good trauma bond, ain't no such thing. Well, wait till you hear the story, right?
Hmm.
So let's talk about it. First, how are you feeling? What do you want to reflect on? A couple of you guys share your reflection about how you think this conversation went because we're about to put y'all on the spot about what's coming up next. What about Ashley?
My bad, I was ringing. I love what Emily said about the working with the employees because, and kind of Jose kind of mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
Jose mentioned it.
Ashley working, y'all. He done took a
Okay.
break today to come do this. He's working. That's a
Uh,
work.
I don't even know what an off day is anymore. But anyway, the people that are working in the expectations, right?
Hmm.
Like you mentioned, so a lady really was revolutionary for me, which I don't really care for her anymore. But she told me a story about working with adolescents, and this kid kept getting in trouble for not making his bed, and they would discipline him and give him, consequences or whatever. And then she sit down and had an honest conversation with him. And she asked him, "Why won't you make your bed?" And he said, "Ma'am, I've never slept on anything but a couch."
Mm.
Wow.
Whoa.
So, like, how are you putting this expectation
Ooh.
of
Good
making a
point.
bed on this boy, which kind of carries on to what Carrie was talking about, carrying the expectations of your parents,
Mm.
right? You're putting this expectation on this young child, and you're giving him consequences and essentially punishing him for something that he
Mm.
has no capability of knowing how to do because he's never had one.
Come on.
And that really it was in a recovery setting that I learned that, but it
Mm.
opened my eyes to so much more. And when I reflected on it on my own life, is like, my mom did what she did, right? She did the best that she could. She exposed me to a lot of stuff when I was young that I wouldn't expose my children to today.
Mm.
But at the same time, like, she worked the system. She didn't pay bills until there was a brown bill. She struggled to pay the bills. She struggled to pay the rent. I never knew how to pay my bills on time until I was 28 years old.
Wow.
Mm.
Right? Like, and I mean, people hear that and they're like, "Oh, that's just an excuse." No, it's not. Like, it didn't make sense to me
Right.
to pay KU or LG&E until you got a brown bill,
Right.
because that's the only thing I ever seen.
But
Wow.
it's crazy, Asher. I talk to people about money management. I said, I had to learn how to manage money. I didn't understand it. And it wasn't that my mom is considered, middle class. And at that time, upper middle class. She's a detective, a Chicago police officer, homicide, making real bank, right? But did she teach me how to manage my money, right? I didn't learn that skill. So I got money, I spent it. And then I didn't learn it how my poor habits or things that I didn't learn very well. I got a chance to see it reflected back on my from my children. That was my mirror. As they started getting older and I'm looking like, well, why you do? Oh, you do it that way because of the way. Aria, why you drive like that? Oh.
Ah.
Why you running? I come in here complaining one time about her getting the ticket. Yeah, I come in the office like I gotta go to court, y'all.
What you
Not
had, two or
one,
three?
right? Okay, like you're right. Like we so quick, we don't pause to really think about what's coming out of our mouth.
Wow. So, Sharita, we're down to like the last 10 minutes.
Okay,
So, can we do our favorite, the popcorn?
you can do it. You got some questions you want to throw at them?
I got one for each one.
Okay, go
Y'all
for it.
y'all have 30 seconds to give your answer to the one question. So, let's see here. All right. Emily, uh, how early do we begin teaching people to suppress emotions?
Oh, baby, I feel young. Uh, I only got 30 seconds, but that's why when we older, we don't know how to express how we feel. We always say, even if you don't like that cookie, that it was a good cookie. We are taught to suppress our feelings and our thoughts. And then when we get older in leadership positions or whatever, we don't know how to give people feedback because we was never taught on how to be honest and how to do it appropriately. But I hope that's under 30 seconds. I'm be quiet.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Um,
I didn't help Brian with this, y'all. Y'all
no.
get in for it. That was hard. I'm gonna shut up and watch.
Carrie, what does accountability without shame look like?
Woo, wait a minute.
Because you took on accountability for for those kids. So, what does accountability without shame look like?
Wow, self-awareness and humbleness.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you know who you are, because I'm gonna tell you, I know who I am.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I know who. I'm sure everybody here knows who they are, and I know who I am. So self awareness and just being humble, because sometimes you got to get in the dirt.
Mm.
Got to. Got to. All right, Big Asher. What
I'm kind of scared
does
for real because those are solid questions.
I know, right?
I'm not in that rotation, right?
um,
Ryan? Whoa.
I don't know. We might say, Ashley, what does reducing harm look like emotionally, relationally, or professionally?
Mm. I would say acceptance.
Okay.
Mm.
More than anything, acceptance, right? Is being able to accept a situation, a circumstance, a
Mm.
person, a condition, and really working towards whether it's working with yourself or working with someone else or working with someone professionally, being able to accept it is what it is.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, like, am I here to cast shame, like you said? Am I
Mm-hmm.
here to cast judgment, or am I here to be of service?
Mm.
And that is, I mean, we mentioned faith. I am a very faithful person. Even the Son of Man came to serve.
Come
Right.
Mm.
on, come on.
Wow. Wow.
So, like, even people don't look like me, think like me, love like me, work like me. I'm still going to be in a position to serve them and meet their needs as they need them, not as I expect for them to be needed.
Come on, Asher. Yes. And
Wow.
on.
Yes, you were on that.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since your answer was so great, Asher, I think it would only be fitting to get an answer from Sharita. Okay.
Absolutely. Without question.
Without question.
But Sharita, you need fire back and hit him with one too.
Now y'all listen, because y'all are. I'm impressed thoroughly. I don't.
My
Ryan, you
question to
work with
you,
me.
Sharita, is um, do what feels authentic about and what feels performative about Mental Health Awareness Month?
I'll start with what feels performative. What feels
Okay.
performative is when agencies and organizations and institutions put hashtags and put up flags and put up notices. And as soon as their teammate, their staff, their subordinate come to them with the issue, they bring a point system and they tell them they can't take the time that they need.
Hmm.
I have a problem with that. I
Yeah.
have a problem with agencies that are front facing and say we do this for the community, but then internally they harm their teams.
Hmm.
Wow.
Authentic is for agencies and systems. So I'm talking to the folks out there. If you are a system and you are ruled by policies, then you inform your team that that's what's going to take precedence. And you give them options because everybody doesn't have the liberty to do what we do on these platforms and allow people to move the way that they need to. But be real with them and let them know how to operate. And for those of you that work in systems and you want to learn how to be revolutionary, there's always a way to leverage those policies. There's always a way to make them work. We don't have actual day off plans for our contract workers here. What we can do is learn how to pivot and allow people to do unique roles, titles, tasks, so that they can make money and we can also be compliant. There's always a way to work around the system.
Definitely.
Ryan, I'm not going to ask you a
Oh, we're
what.
out of time. Thank you very
Yes, I
much.
know. Because I went over 30 seconds. I don't know how the hell they were able to do 30 seconds and they hit the mark. I think that takes a lot to be put on
Yes.
the spot. And you guys, none of them had access to a question. I didn't even know these questions was coming. I'm like
Yes.
fuming over here because my heart is racing. Like 30 seconds, I'm gonna suck at this. Before we let you guys go into the back room so we could end our our conversation. I want you all to hang out until we finish and close out. I need you all to share. Oh, as we move into the second half of the year, because we're already 6 months in, right?
Mhm.
What conversations do you all think we need to have more honestly and publicly over the next 6 months? So I want people in the comments, throw that out there because we're going to screenshot those. And then you guys who are on this platform, you can take a couple of minutes and just share what conversations, even out of today, because I got a couple of things that I'm writing down and I have a couple of cool ideas. We are really getting ready to do our second in person podcast, and I got an idea on how I want to do it. I think it's going to be fire. So, what topics, what conversations come up with you after today and thinking about the rest of the year and what we could be talking about?
I personally, I feel like we should it's about grief, and that can be any kind of grief, grieving a job, a relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
I have three really good friends right now who are grieving the parents they knew because their parents have Alzheimer's and dementia.
Mm,
So they're going through grief, and they say, with Alzheimer's, you die twice,
mm.
and they're grieving the parents they knew. So I think diving into that part of how it's not just about death, it's death of some things as well as people.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a topic that's not talked about even in the harm reduction space. Thank you for that.
Online, Jose said men's mental health. He said a 3 hours version. We're gonna have to break that down, Jose. But
So, as we think
On a
about a
telephone.
podcast in person, there's some ideas that we can do. But you
hmm
said men's mental health.
hmm
So I work with a lot of people of color. I'm married to a black woman. I have mixed race children.
Thank you for calling her a black woman.
Yeah, that's my girl.
I know, but I'm saying because people be like, I'm married to you, like you said, people of color because you do work with a large variety. But you said black woman.
hmm
Thank
Strong
you.
black woman.
How
Strong.
strong? Okay.
But
Even out. Okay.
the unequal access to resources and services, the racial disparity between the two, is almost like a redlining situation
Mm,
with mental health services.
hmm
And it goes. It's in the schools. I mean, it's in the neighborhoods. It's just the quality of care, and especially like people. So I grew up in the hood, right? And I was exposed to a lot of trauma,
yeah.
and there wasn't great services. I'm not going to mention any in particular in the Louisville area, but there were a few that were not. Even as a child, I recognized they were not up to par.
Mm.
And that is not fair because then those people are ostracized and looked down on because they can't overcome X, Y, and Z, and they're only given these subpar services.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay. Emily, we
Yeah.
got a couple of seconds before Ryan's going to take us out.
I think the conversation about accountability, because that looks different and deeper, especially with the component of spirituality. But also this youth balance. I think that's a conversation that's definitely needed because it's not just Louisville, but
Mm.
it's happening in Louisville too. But yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Ooh, wow. Thank y'all. This has been truly amazing. We're gonna put y'all in the backstage again, so we can finish our conversation. Oh my goodness. Listen, Sharita, we done did it again.
I'm ready. I'm telling you, I got an idea about a upcoming. I think we tried that that in person podcast. I think we're to the point where we can do, and I think it's going to be a podcast journey. I'm always talking about a damn journey. We're doing a
Listen,
journey here, journey, but I'm thinking we do a podcast journey, and we're going to split that baby boy up because people are interested. It's interesting to watch the numbers go up and down
Yeah.
on what's being talked about, and who. So I think we got something going, and I want to talk about that. So
Listen, Jose, you're already on our schedule for next month. So prepare yourself. I'm gonna send you everything you need because he think that we left him out, Sharita, and we really did
he ain't
not.
left out.
Okay. Look, son, you're coming, okay? Hey, listen, everybody, we truly thank you for joining By Any Means podcast. Even as we close out this month of mental health awareness, we want to make sure that we connect with you. You connect with you. Go stand in the grass with your shoes off. Go hug a tree. Just stand if you just got your hair done, I'm not replacing your hairdo, but go stand and let the raindrops hit you. Listen, it's amazing to love on yourself. And so, listen, love on your mind. Your mind is one of the strongest things that you have and organs in your body. And we have to make sure that we take care of it. So, if you need some help, you can reach out to us if you need some assistance finding somewhere to get some help. Reach out to us here at Kentucky Harm Reduction, and we'll go to our website www.kyhrc.org, and we will connect you to some services and even the wonderful people that we had here on our show today. Even if you may have resonated with something that they may have said, or maybe their services that they provide wherever they are, we can get you connected. And we want you to know, I think I'm doing it right. We love you here
We love you.
by any means. Thank you for joining us.